All right, we are live. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Chris. This is my channel. We love comics. And I'm in my car right now, and I'm about to explain why. But I want to always take the time to thank everybody for listening to my videos. And hopefully you guys are doing well. Just an update, if you've been watching my channel, knowing my situation, I'm sure many people are starting to feel the same situations. My flea market that I was selling my comics is actually closed down, and now as of 5 p.m. today, the state of Florida has declared all bars must close down for the next 30 days. So that means all of my jobs have been exterminated. But as you can see, I'm not panicking, I'm not worried. As a matter of fact, I am actually in the process of going to sell one of my comics right here, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles #1, second print signed, to a person that came to the flea market a couple of weeks ago. Luckily, I handed out my business card, and they called me, and they have the cash waiting for me. So I just want people to know in these times, because a couple people have asked me if I can do kind of like a inspiring type of video, because they say my videos help in that sense. I just want everybody to know that everybody's going to be okay through this. Now, I know it's a scary, and anything where you don't know what's going on is always going to be scary. The best advice I can give you and anyone is to never let fear dictate your life, because then you will panic, you will overreact, and then you will stress yourself out to the point where you'll just not be motivated to do anything. Now, I want to put in perspective, I just moved from New York to Florida back in September of 2019. So it's been about 5.5, 6 months. I lost my house in New York and had to find a place within 3 months. Had to come up with over approximately about $25,000 to $30,000. I had just lost all my DJ jobs, and I had about maybe $300 in the bank. I was able to get a house, able to move here. Okay? And I'm going the wrong direction. All right, so I guess I'm taking the scenic route. Okay, so after we do that, it ends up taking us 3 days to get here, because my wife ended up blowing 2 of her tires, and we were stuck in the Bronx almost overnight. So we lost a whole day. In the process, about 3 days after we moved in, 3 to 5 days, our cat Luna dies. Then a month later, I get sick to the point where I almost die in my bathroom, have to go to the hospital, have to have an ambulance take me to the hospital because I could not stand. I had to be carried out of my house, where I spent 5 days in the hospital and should have stayed there longer, but with no medical insurance, we just couldn't stay there any longer. End up back in the hospital again for another day after that, a couple of weeks later. End up almost losing one of our other cats. Lose my DJ jobs, get other DJ jobs. Lose the flea market because of this whole situation that's going on now, and end up now losing my DJ jobs. So this is coming from a person that has lost a lot and had a lot of situations happen just in the span of the past 5 months. So I understand where people can say they're going to lose everything. As a matter of fact, if it wasn't for the help of some of you with the donations helping for the cat, he probably would not have lived to go through it. So I understand what's going on. I was living almost paycheck to paycheck, but making it through and still being able to, pay all the bills. So losing my flea market ability and losing all my DJ jobs for a minimum of a month, it's gonna hurt. But you could see I'm not scared, I'm not worried. This is what's gonna separate, like they say, separate the men from the boys. I am basically now in a mode where you have to make things get done. If you complain, if you cry about it, if you get worried about it, if you get angry and give up and you don't do anything, well, don't be surprised nothing happens. So I'm actually driving to a person to sell them a comic book that's going to help be able to get the bills paid. Now, I'm not going to be able to buy another comic to make up for this, to keep the business going, but sometimes you got to take a step back to make 2 steps forward. So what I want people to know, and Peter just did a $1.99 super chat. Thank you for that. I always appreciate that. And he writes, and if you ever do a super chat, I'll try and read it. Just keep in mind I'm in the car right now. Where did it go? Peter, if you want to type out what you just did, because it just disappeared. So I want to make sure I read what you did. But thank you for the super. Okay, he says, "You're the man, Chris. I'm on the Showcase 22 hunt." There you go. Wait for a deal. Like I said, in probably the next couple of weeks to the next couple of months, you're probably going to find deals you've never seen before. I have a Showcase 22, but I can't really give it away. So, you know, I do wish you luck with that, and hopefully you find a really good one with a really good deal. But I want people to know, be glad you have comics, especially if you have any key issue comics. And this is one of the reasons why I stress all the time, if you're going to invest in comics, to invest in the more expensive key issue comics. Now, obviously, everybody can't do that, and some people want to collect because they read the comics, which is perfectly fine. Some people get them because they just like a certain book. That's perfectly fine. Some people collect comics because they want to get complete runs. Perfectly fine. My point is, if you get the key issue comics, if you're able to do it, and situations like this or any other situation, I mean, you can have a hurricane, you could have a power outage, you could lose your job, you never know what can happen. But it's a way that you can actually help yourself get through those times. And that's exactly what I'm doing right now, and it makes me very happy that I am able to, even though I just lost every form of employment, be able to keep going and be able to help my wife pay the bills. The one good thing is my wife has a government-issued job, so she can't lose her job, you know, whether they wanted to or not. She's soon going to be working out of our home. But I want people to know that you can always make it through any situation. Keep in mind, if you ever even heard of the story of Noah's Ark. Now, whether it's true or not, that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the actual story of what happened. We're still here to tell the tale. I mean, we've been through the Black Plague. We've been through so many things. We went through World War II, where over 17 million people plus died. Everybody is going to be okay. There are always some that, regardless of what happens, there's going to be tragedies no matter what. And any tragedy is a tragedy, whether it's, you know, somebody losing a job, somebody being hit by a car, or situations that are occurring now. Yes, and Charming also says Civil War and the Great War. You know, so throughout the world's history, we've had our ups and downs, but we're still here. So don't let the media scare you into this, I gotta hoard everything, and I gotta be panicky, and I gotta be scared. I mean, if you want to be that way, if that's how you want to live your life, you know, you have the right to do that. I'm not going to tell you how to live. I choose not to go down the path of being paranoid and being scared, because whether I'm in control or I'm scared, it's going to determine my actions of what I do. If I'm scared and paranoid and upset and angry and worried and all those other emotions, well, what incentive am I going to have to do anything? Some people get to the point where they put a gun to their head because of that situation. I'm not that type of person. And because I'm calm, cool, and collective, and I take care of things before they become problems, anytime I made extra money, I would pay my bills in advance, so I don't have to worry about a car insurance bill for another 2 months. Not everybody can do that, but my thing is, instead of buying a pack of cigarettes or going out to get a 6-pack of beer with the friends, or going to a strip club, or, you know, buying a 15th pair of shoes, put some of that money away. Be able to pay a bill a month in advance or a month early. So this way, when problems arise, you won't have to worry.
Arriving
so,
destination on right.
If you have key issue comics, yes, it sucks sometimes when you have to sell them, but it's a heck of a lot better than losing your house, or a heck of a lot better than, you know, any other kind of situation. So just be very careful, And just don't let the media scare you, because remember, the media's job is to make ad revenue. They have advertisers. They need you to watch their channel so they could make money. So they're going to make it seem like the sky is falling and everybody's going to die tomorrow and the whole world is just going to float away into outer space, when that's not the case. Now, I've said it before and I'll say it again. I'm not going to sit here and say this is a hoax. But what I am saying is, it's not the pandemic that they're claiming it to be, where everybody's just dropping left and right all over the place. And again, things can change. But like I said, if you listen to the story of Noah's Ark and you know about what happened with the bubonic plague and the Black Death, people survived. So you have to say to yourself, do you want to be the survivor? Or do you want to be one of those that just crosses their fingers and hopes for the best? Or you want to be the person that puts a gun to their head? Don't be that person. If you're scared, you're nervous, you're worried, you're upset, you're all those negative emotions, it's going to decrease your ability to find better ways to do things. Maybe this is your...